Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. This video is going to be just a little pillow talk here at the end of my day. And the whole message of it is when the narcissist walks away from you, when the narcissist gives you that no, when they decide to discard you, instead of wallowing in the abandonment, instead of wallowing in this, sense of rejection, see the beauty of that. See the positivity of it, basically. The narcissist, we're talking about a narcissist here. They chose to remove themselves out of your life. They chose to walk away and slam the door in your face. Thank you, God, for that. Because actually, when you're the ones to discard them, it actually makes them want to come back into your life just so that they can be the one to then discard you and move forward. And I'm serious. Sometimes I make these audios and I forget to put my phone on silent, but it miraculously rings when I'm like just spitting some fire because it's very true. Anytime I've discarded a narcissist, they have eventually wanted tried like hell to get back into my life. And if I let them back in my life, it usually led to them discarding me. Only I just didn't care. I let them have that. Like, it was almost a mind fuck on my end. Like, yeah, go ahead. You go ahead and do what you have to do now so that you can move on. Because it's a power thing to them. They don't ever like to feel like they were the ones that were let go of. Now, I'm not saying that you have to wait for them to do it. Now, if you know this is a narcissist and you need to be getting them out of their life, go ahead and discard them and never look back. If you never take any of their hoovers, they'll never be able to get that power back just to discard you anyway. But if they've chosen to do it, instead of, why doesn't this person want me, or not feeling good enough, don't let it trigger that inside of you. There's something else rooted into that you may need to examine, that chances are goes beyond this current narcissist that's triggering this in you. But the bigger picture is what I'm talking about right now. And the bigger picture is this toxic person chose to walk away from you. They volunteered to go ahead and leave you alone. They volunteered to stop. I mean, this is a great thing, guys. This is a great thing. And sometimes we look at the glass, half empty. All right? Because your cup should be just basically overflowing, basically with the narcissist going, you've just gotten rid of a lot of horrible things. This person has a lot of bad things rolled up in one here, and you got a taste of it. And you may have gotten a taste of it over and over and over and over and over. So when they're finally, they're discarding you yet again, this is good. Just let that be it. Let that be it. Like, thank you. Like, I've talked about this in other videos. It's exhausting having these people in your life. They're requiring so much of you. Always got to show and prove this and that when they're doing little to nothing in crumbs. Who has time for that? We are all productive people who have higher callings and purposes in our lives. And we don't have energy to be somebody's servant and fixer. Come on now. Let them be, unfortunately, let them be somebody else's problem. It's unfortunate that they have to be somebody else's problem. They can't just be alone and wallow in their own mess and just torture themselves, But look, people have lessons to learn here on this earth. And whoever he gets with next, they're going to learn what they have to learn, hopefully. And then, he's just going to be that catalyst, that negative catalyst that will provide people with the opportunity to step into their higher realm of consciousness, really, because you're going to learn a lot from this very negative person if you choose to. You can take the lessons, and those lessons can be blessings for you. You know, the lessons from dealing with this narcissist can absolutely be blessings and transform your whole level of consciousness. Okay? Your whole level of consciousness. Because I'm telling you, I'm an intelligent person, but I'm telling you, these narcissists, the stuff that I've learned from them, has just taken me to a whole another level of thinking and understanding of human beings, and obviously this personality disorder as well. So, this goes out to someone right now because people are experiencing this every day. Every day, there are people that are just on their, not even their day one, where they've just been discarded from the narcissist. They're just even realizing what this is, or they haven't even realized what it is, and then they're stumbling across my video or someone else's video, and they're just feeling so broken. They're feeling so abandoned. They're feeling so rejected. And, this is a message for you guys, and it's also a reinforcement to the rest of you that have been fighting this fight and picked yourself up off the ground. And you're getting stronger by the day. You're getting stronger by the day. You're going to be okay. But see the blessing in it. Even for those of you out there, who had children with a narcissist and he's just walked away from the whole situation. Studies have shown, no father is better than a bad one. Studies have shown that no father is better than a bad one. The same thing for the narcissistic females out there, guys. There's a lot of single fathers out there who may have had children with a narcissistic woman, and they might have custody of the children because she don't want to stop grooving and partying and using men and living that party life and all this other stuff, gold digging and stuff, So that happens. And then there's the other instances where she does have the children and, she's making it hard for the father to see his children. And, my heart goes out to you guys in that situation. All you can do is your best. If you've gone through the legal process of trying to get 50-50 custody and set up visitations, that's all you can do is your best. Be prayerful and do your best. That's all you can do. And I'm sorry that you're in that situation, It is what it is. All we can ever do in this life is our best, and I find, being as though I do believe in a higher power, when I do my best, my God certainly does the rest. When I do my best, my God does the rest. Every time. It never fails. So all we can do is our best. What else can you do? What else can you do? If they've walked away from you, see the blessing in it. They're giving somebody else a headache right now, unfortunately, but they ain't giving it to you. They're in somebody else's resources and pockets, but they ain't in yours no more. Just see the blessings in it. Like, oh my gosh, don't forget what you're dealing with these people and what they come with. We can't forget that. We cannot forget it. As we're breaking the trauma bonds, before it's broken, and that enmeshment that we had, there still may be a little craving of the dysfunction because our brains is still chemically or physiologically hooked on to that drama and that dysfunction, and you're still breaking it. It's going to take time. But the no contact, the longer you're in no contact, the more you get your brain retrained off of that. Okay, but we have to be careful moving forward because our brain still remembers that pathway. It still remembers that toxicity. So if you attract another narcissist, the brain could go back into that route, could go back into that space, that realm, because it still is familiar, even though it hasn't been triggered in a while. But another narcissist could re-trigger that in you, and that's why we have to just really have our eyes open and our elephant ears when we're dealing with people moving forward on all different kind of levels, because narcissists can come into our life in all different kinds of relationships, not just romantic, But if a narcissist has walked away from you, if they have shut the door, if you've experienced, the quote unquote final discard, because you're not going to let them back. We control the final discard, not the narcissist. We do. They're only going to be able to hoover us back if we allow them. They can hoover us, but they can't hoover us back unless we got to accept that invitation. But if they have walked away, they ain't bothering you, they ain't thinking about you per se. Hey, that's a win. That is a win. That is a win, because they're only going to come back to what they can still manipulate. They're only going to come back to what they think they can still secrete something from. And this is just a sidebar. If they've discarded you, it doesn't mean that they won't ever try to hoover you. Narcissists have hoovered people decades later. Once they have targeted you, it doesn't mean they never will again. And time is not an expression of it. Because as I've said, decades later, a narcissist can re-hoover someone. Okay? So just, that's why it's important for us to do our self-work, because we can control ourselves. We can't control when or if they might try to hoover us through whatever extent, they have at that time. But we can control our reactions. We can always control our response. All right, guys? But lift your heads up, lift that chin up. You have a serious weight has been lifted. A demonic, negative entity is no longer around you. No longer around you. They're not the only people in this world. Billions of people are in this world. You can find someone else to socialize with. You can find someone else to be intimate with. You can find someone else to be friend with. You can find someone else when you want to. Okay, your life does not revolve around no one person. You will be okay. You will be okay. But see the blessing. Knowing that they're a narcissist, see the blessing. See the blessing in that. You don't need that mess. Gosh, they did you a favor. They did you a super favor. Be thankful. Be thankful. All right, guys. So I hope this resonates with someone, and just be thankful, okay? See the positive, and stay in that realm. The more you focus on the negative, trust me, it's going to bring you down. That's just how it works. We focus on the negative, focus on what we don't have, we go into a negative space. We focus on the positive, focus on what we do have, we go into a positive space. It's really that simple, guys. So if you're feeling really low in life, if you're feeling really negative, what are you focusing on? Are you having gratitude? Or are you focusing on the negative? Because that's just going to dictate all of it. Anytime if I feel myself slipping, I will think about what I'm thankful for right away. And it pulls me right out of it. I'll catch myself sometimes because I've been through much. I've been through so much, guys, in my life. So much shit I've overcome. And sometimes I think about it. But if I think about it too much, it starts taking me back into those places. It starts taking me back into those places. I don't want to go into those places because then it brings my spirit down. Because when it's taking me back into those places and spaces, it's taking me back to the feelings and the emotions that I had. And it may not be 100% of how I felt then, but I'm going to feel a little bit of it. And then that's bringing my energy down. It's bringing my spirit down. So I have to stop. I'm like, oh, I can't think about that too long because that's going to take me back. And I don't want to go back there. I'm moving forward. I've done enough analysis. I've done enough self-reflection. I know. So if I go back into that, I'm just only wallowing at that point. It's really nothing else for me to get out of that. It's just going to be wallowing. So we have to stay positive. Okay? All right, guys. Until next time, take care.